Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back into the building. It's your boy Jason Gooner, and we are here again for another EPL review show breakdown live episode. Yes, tonight we'll be discussing on all the matches that were played this week, starting from Friday, Brighton versus Chelsea, all the way to the last matchup today, which was Spurs and Manchester United. So we're going to go through all 10 matches, talk about the results, talk about our respective teams. And yeah, big up, big up, big up. Red Skull said, Father, up, just pass through, don't even stay long. Up, full Red Skull. Big up. Thanks for the support, my brother. Smash a like while you're there. And yeah, share the content as well. Red Skull, I can tell you, say you never finish last this week, all right? Yeah, you never finish last, so you're not gonna miss yourself getting donkey of the week. There is a donkey of the week and there is a champion. We will be revealing those later in the show. Big up short boss, Coach Edwards, big up yourself. Respect for being in the building tonight. We're gonna talk about the EPL week. We miss you this week, Coach. We never get a chance to see your predictions, but you don't know this week coming up, you're there on your face. But big up yourself, respect. Man Vex Muish. They even came through. Liverpool should have drawn. Boy, may I tell you, that game, Wolves put up a fight today. Liverpool kind of cruise. And them almost cruise to the point where them drop points. But in the end, they were able to see it out and they did get the 3 points. But I'm going to have that discussion when we get to the Liverpool in terms of I've seen some Liverpool fans not really so perturbed with the performance, just saying that right now, the most important thing is to get 3 points. I want to hear from Liverpool fans. Is that true? Is it something that you worry about? Not necessarily playing the best right now. Dropping points against Everton. Look, coming close to dropping points again today. Does that mean something going into this stretch of games that is a little bit tougher on paper for Liverpool? I don't know if it matters so much. I think right now I would have to lean a little bit to the side of results just matter the most right now. Who cares about how well you're playing? But a lot of times how well you play can determine what your results are. So there's a balance, right? But it is what it is. Villa move away, hope them do something Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, look, Villa is the type of team they have shown to me that they seem to get up for the big games a bit more than just say that whatever team they have playing. They seem to play down to the level of the opponent or play up to the level of the opponent. So I'm hopeful that they'll have somewhat of a performance. And typically at Villa Park against the better teams, they show up. So let's see. And right now, I wouldn't say that Liverpool is flying like they were at one point in the season. So I think that's going to be an interesting game this week. It won't be in any prediction show because I won't do the next show, preview show until Thursday because there is a game next Friday as well. So we'll do the show Thursday and then we'll do the review on Sunday night, just like this week. So we will talk about that game a little bit before the show is over, that Liverpool versus Villa game on Wednesday. But for sure, City I beat them even in Pep conference in plan for that week. Yeah, man. City is looking dangerous right now. Definitely control the game against Newcastle. Was a bit surprising how toothless Newcastle was, to be honest. But City definitely looked their more dominant selves in that game for sure. Bless up, Duke. What go on? Yeah, a little diversion here, Duke, from the U17. I know some people might have expected post match today. I think what I'm gonna do is I have some other topics in the Jamaican space that I want to discuss, and I'm gonna do a reasoning time show tomorrow night. So I will include the U17 breakdown and analysis that I think needs to be heard, and also discuss a few other topics as well that are kind of fresh in my mind that I want to bring to the people. So tomorrow night, people will be doing some Jamaica content, but this is a welcome diversion from the U17s that I've been thinking about all day today. So yeah, we can focus on the EPL for a night and try to, well, for some of us, it will be enjoyable conversation. Others, like you, Duke, I don't know if the EPL is any better than the U17 right now. Actually, best up bar, so I'll go on. Oh, I want to say already. Just need them to lose 2 and draw 1 by next weekend. Yeah. Facts. Blessings. Yeah, man. May I profit because exactly how I predict Fulham win them did. Well, yeah, I wish I would believe in my own self because I predicted a draw. I thought Forest would be able to hold them to a draw, but I did foresee Fulham playing their best football against Forest, and they did play better. I think they did deserve those 3 points, and we'll talk about that game in just a few. Both are depressing. Yeah, for you, both are depressing. I am not so depressed because the thing is we don't have a striker, and I know that, right? But if we can play how we played in the game against Leicester in terms of controlling the game, limiting opportunities for the other team, we can keep quite a few clean sheets or maybe just concede 1 goal. So there's still a chance. We just have to win the games. Win the games, put some pressure. We can get that psychological boost if Aston Villa were to get something from the game on Wednesday. Even if they held them to a draw, we'll have our next game to play. We'll get into the lead and put Liverpool under some pressure for their game at the weekend. So, there's things. Listen, my time will come. Well, that's fine. It hasn't forward this week, so we're thankful for that. Bless up, Flo. To go on, bro. Yeah, man. I was trying to wait for Cranky's show to finish, but I didn't want to get the show started because I don't want to on YouTube all night tonight. But yeah, big up to Cranky and everybody that's over there. I'm sure once he's finished with his ranting tonight, some more people will forward. And yeah, we're just going to get going into the games, We're not itching, Wait a second, Moreno is in. Yo, hey, the man tell me, say, I'm the one, I got to play the false line, I never believe, but it was a master stroke. Can't tell a lie. It worked like a charm. All right, people, so let's get up and going with the fixtures. So the first fixture of the week, people, was Brighton taking on Chelsea. Now, Chelsea started out this season, surprised a lot of people, including myself. I did not expect the project to go bang so fast, and it was looking like they were on their way earlier in the season. Now, you could see deficiencies in the defense, but one thing that was a constant was their ability to create chances, and we have seen that kind of dry up over the last month or so, and we've seen the results dry up as well, because Chelsea has not been built as a team like I was just describing with Arsenal, where we might have deficiencies in attack, but we are going to be able to win games 1-0. I don't see Chelsea having that type of team or that setup. So they fell for the second time in 1 week to Brighton. They got knocked out of the FA Cup at the hands of Brighton 2-1. And then in the league, they traveled to the Amex and picked up 3-0. Goals courtesy of Kero Mitoma and Yakuba Minte, the young Gambian, scoring a brace. Now, I have to talk on Kero Mitoma's goal. Candidate for me up there for goal of the season. I thought the technique that he used to bring that ball down and turn the defender in one motion, bringing it down and basically on the half volley, making a touch to change direction and spin Chalobah. That was brilliant forward play. Just the technique to look over his head like that and bring it down the way he did definitely required top class technique, and he was able to do it flawlessly. And a lot of times you might see plays like that and then the finish isn't there. Well, he capped it off with the finish as well, low to the far post. Didn't go for power, just placed it into that far post. Beautiful goal. Definitely for me, might not win goal of the season, but needs to be in the honorable mention for sure. And then, of course, the brace by Minte, first in the 38th minute after good play from Ruta down the left, crossed it in. bit of a pinball action, but in the end, Welbeck laid it off to Minte, who showed good composure, taking a touch and then slotting home past some defenders and the goalkeeper. Then in the second half, much of the same, really. I think Brighton always looked the better team for me. Chelsea had their spells where they played decent, but I don't think they did enough, honestly, in the game. And then by the time Minte got his second goal to make it 3, it was really all she wrote for Chelsea. Now the statistics will tell you a story about the game. Chelsea dominating the possession, but did not doing enough with that possession. Only creating one big chance. The expected goals were under 1 for them, which is low for them typically. Brighton was up to 1.42, and they created 5 big chances to Chelsea's 1. So, possession is not everything in football, and it definitely matters a lot what you do with that possession. They outshot them, did Brighton. Chelsea did rack up a lot of corners, but Brighton did well to basically to handle most of those with relative ease. And then when you look at the shots on target, none for an entire 90 minutes for Chelsea. I don't know if that has happened to them this season yet. Now, a lot of Chelsea fans and fans of the EPL in general always beating Nicholas Jackson. But if this game didn't show you anything, it should show you the importance of Nico Jackson, what he brings to the team in terms of build-up play and the run of play. Nkunku is a talented footballer, but he has not found a home in this Chelsea team. Maresca has stuck with him being a number 9 or false 9. He just does not look to be comfortable fully in that role. It might work in the Conference League against people with day jobs. In the EPL, it's not going to work. And I think they would get much more out of him if they played him off the left or the right, especially now that Sancho has kind of hit a wall with his form. Neto playing decent but not producing enough goal-scoring actions. And then Madueke blows hot and cold all the time. He came off early with an injury. So now they don't have the opportunity to put him in one of those roles because they need him to play through the middle. But I would try something else if I was the coach because it's not working out with him up front. 0 shots on target against a team in Brighton that has not been the most stellar defensively this season. So you have to put that in there as well. It's not like they were playing an Arsenal or a Liverpool who might control the game, or even like a team like Everton who's pretty stingy under David Moyes, and even before in terms of chance creation for the other team. So, to be playing Brighton, 0 shots on target, that's really an indictment on Chelsea, if you ask me. They got one big chance, but they missed it. Brighton weren't that clinical either. Only one big chance scored out of their 5 created. So it really could have been even more on the day, honestly, for Brighton. The final third entries, Chelsea dominated in that regard. But again, entries, possession is one thing. What have you done with it? And the stats would show they did not do nearly enough with their possession advantage and their territorial advantage as well. Brighton just understood when they knew the assignment when they got into the final third. They had more goal scoring actions. Definitely good value for their 3-0 win. What is the issue with Chelsea? So let's look at the lineups that Chelsea had. So as I said, we had the back 4, Gusto, of course, Reece James, been back playing, but perhaps not fit enough to be playing week in, week out. So he did not start, but he had to come on when Gusto got injured. Madueke was out in 21 minutes. He was off the pitch. Neto had probably one of his worst games for Chelsea, statistically and otherwise. Very quiet, 5.8 on the day, so not good enough from him. And then Kunku and Palmer, while they got decent scores, don't think they affected the game enough. Palmer probably was the most likely to do something. But Nkunku, for me, if you look at his heat map, he's playing number 9, barely had any touches within the width of the goal. Everything wants to be drifting right, left, or deeper into the pitch. And I think sometimes Chelsea just require to have a striker running those channels, and he wants the ball to feet at all times, it looks like. And Cole Palmer already is doing that in those same spaces. So at times it's like they're on top of each other. So the balance just isn't quite right now with Chelsea's team. We've seen Sanchez get benched, Jorgensen playing. Has he looked any better than Sanchez, really? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he didn't have a good display in this one. He did have one error as well, so it looks like a disease that Chelsea keepers have. So yeah, it's Chelsea right now, and you can see their injury list. Two defenders out. I think Fofana is a big miss. I think Lavia as well is a big miss. And then they don't have that striker, Giu, available right now, or Nico Jackson. So, inopportune times to have some of these people out. When you look at their bench, it was, a lot of youngsters, Josh, Aaron Ensilmo, Matisse, Amogo, all these guys are pretty young. Tyreek George came on for Neto when he pulled up. So they're down to Tyreek George as an option off the bench at wing. When going into this season, they had an embarrassment of riches. Some of those players either injured or gone out on loan, and now the cupboard is looking a bit bare, especially when you factor in Madueke left injured, and Neto and Sancho aren't really clicking like how they could. It's really looking away. Now, Brighton, this team is a team that we just can't figure out, people. They are the most Jekyll and Hyde thing ever. I mean, certain days, they played Arsenal well both games. They mashed up Chelsea in this game. But they'll get 7-0 as well. So it's like, this is a team similar to with Fulham. I think when they're just up for an occasion, they can have a great day. And maybe they take some of those other opponents for granted at times because they don't get the same results. But one thing I will say is, Mitoma, when he's on form, they're a better team. And he started out the season a bit quiet. I think about the last month or so, he's definitely started to, his performances have gotten better and his output has gotten a lot better. And I think as he goes, they will go as well. Also, their season took a little bit of a hit when Welbeck went down. I think he's finally now getting back to full fitness, and you can see the difference in his output in this game with 2 assists, setting up Minte twice for his 2 goals. So, I think two teams right now going opposite directions. I think Brighton, the confidence they would have gained from knocking out Chelsea in the FA Cup and then this 3-0 win. I would be surprised if they don't kick on a bit in the league and start to get some better results on the bounce here. Yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as the Brighton and Chelsea game goes. As I said, two teams look like they're going in totally different directions. With the striker crisis right now at Chelsea, I don't see them having a solid enough defense to, see this thing out and get positive results. I think they're going to drop a lot of points here moving forward in the absence of Jackson, unless Nkunku can somehow get in his head that he's playing striker, because he wants to play everywhere but striker, it seems like. Bless up DJ Gigs, Wagwan. Great result for Brighton and an even better result for me. Fox Hot Chili. Everybody in that top 4 race was very pleased with Brighton's result. So they got that 3-0 result, halting Chelsea's charge for the Champions League. Of course, this season, based on the coefficients and stuff, it looks like they're going to get 5 places for the Champions League. So that could help Chelsea in the long run. But there's a lot of teams around. And when we look at the table, we'll examine which ones really and truly are heavily in line to get those 5, what it looks like to be 5 places. Now, the first game of the weekend, which would be Saturday, early kickoff, was Leicester versus Arsenal. And our new number 9 off the bench, Mikel Merino, came in to score twice from great crosses. One from, I thought, the player of the match, Ethan Nwaneri, and the second from Leandro Trossard, who had found it tough through the middle, but the minute he went out wide and Merino came in through the middle, you could see that Trossard knows what he's doing way more on that flank compared to playing that false 9 role. So yeah, 2-0 to the Gunners. Big result, I thought, because I think the narrative going into this game was we're doomed. We have no strikers. How are we going to catch Liverpool with no strikers? And you could see the papers were ready to write about this nil-all, toothless Arsenal. And, I always felt that Nwaneri was going to create some moment in that second half. I remember I was in a group chat with some friends and at halftime, everybody cussing and thing and saying, boy, we're not a striker and this and that. And I was just saying, look, just give that kid the ball and just watch him set up something or score himself. And he actually came close to scoring twice before setting up the goal. I don't know if you remember, it was like a counter attack, kind of like a semi transition. He got the ball cut inside on his left and rocketed a shot that skimmed off the crossbar. Then the next time, instead of cutting in on his left, he did a step over, went down the right, and smacked it with his right foot off the post. So he was getting closer and closer, and then in the end, Mikel Marino by this time had come on, and a good cross from just inside the box off the right, just a nice clipped curl pass, good timing by Marino as well. Defense caught flat-footed, and he had a great glancing header to the near post that beat the keeper. Really didn't have a chance to save it. And then the second goal was also nice because Calafiori does what he does from left back a lot, which is drive the ball forward into the space. He releases Trossard, and he did it at the right time as well because Trossard ran offside. He held it just long enough for him to get back onside, played it wide to him, and then Trossard had one thing in his mind: get down that flank and whip in across. And the timing of the cross was perfect for Marino to meet at the far post with a neat finish to make it 2-0. And that was pretty much all we were going to need on the day. Great defending, I thought, almost for the entire 90 minutes. There might have been a 5-minute spell right before halftime where I didn't really like how we were playing. But other than that, I really thought we controlled the game very well. If you look at the stats as well, what I'm saying will make sense. So we didn't go all out trying to possess the entire time. I thought we had a decent balance of, trying to hit them in transition at times and also trying to, do our regular slower build-ups. But Leicester, I thought, you can see the difference. Van Nistelrooy, even though they're not getting many points, he does try to play with this team. And they weren't afraid of possessing the ball either. So 60-40, decent in terms of for Leicester, I would think. But the expected goals is what I was really pleased about. When you can keep somebody under 0.25 or 0.3 for the 90 minutes, that means your defense did really well. They did create one big chance on the day to our 3, so it wasn't like we were just opening them up time and time again. For long stretches, it was very sterile, I would say, for Arsenal. Very vanilla, just trying to, not enough invention, everything a bit too slow. The only player, honestly, that looked like he wanted to do something in this game was Ethan Nwaneri. To a lesser, I would say Odegaard was trying as well, but I think Odegaard, because Partey, I thought, had one of his poorer games. You saw Odegaard dropping a lot deeper in this game to try to get the tempo going from deep because Partey just wasn't quite on it like he has been in a lot of the games this season. Rice was his usual self, but still has his deficiencies in the attacking third. It just seems like that final control, that final pass, it's not his forte, and he just ends up in these positions where I just wish he had a little more quality a lot of the times, but sometimes it's just not there, honestly. We outshot them 11-6. We had 7 corners, didn't score. It's been a little while now since we haven't scored from a corner, people. So I don't know if the set piece FC name going to die. But yeah, we haven't been converting these set pieces in a little while now. Maybe teams figured out some of the things we're doing. Not sure exactly, but yeah, we haven't been converting those as much. We had 5 shots on target today, 2. Hit the woodwork twice. That was one player, one area, what I've talked about already. Then, they missed their big chance. We missed one of ours, and Marino, the clinical number 9, finished his 2. We had more touches in the area. And then the final third entries were very even, 54-51. But again, we definitely dealt with anytime they got into our attacking third, or into our defensive third, sorry. We dealt with it very, very well. I thought the entire back line, honestly, had a decent game. Timber, Lewis Skelly, Gabriel, and Saliba, I thought, played well as well. Good to see Saliba bounce back because, I did think that his performances, especially in the Carabao Cup games, was definitely not up to his standard. So good to see him bounce back and have a really good game. Yeah, but I think, when you look at the lineups of both teams, our baller Bobby got the start. Was a tough day for him, and pretty much most of the attackers, El Canus, who has been really playing well for them, was very, very quiet in this game. Vardy was his normal annoying self, but we did a good enough job of not really having any chances fall to him. And then you can see one area, my player of the match, definitely the sofa score player of the match as well, getting a 9.0. I thought he was incredible in the game. Sterling, my gosh, I don't know why Sterling just makes the game look so difficult. I don't get it. It's like I don't know what's wrong with Sterling, what has happened to him, but he's a shell of himself, man. I'm telling you. Trossard, as I said, battled. He tried his best when he was playing through the middle. And I wouldn't even say he did terribly through the middle, but it just was clear that he's so much more comfortable playing off the left or the right. So yeah, Trossard, and he was guilty of missing a big chance as well when he was striking. Then you have Declan Rice and Partey. Partey still got a 7.1, but I thought that his performance wasn't the best this game. And he was fine defensively. I just thought that, his usual line breaking pass, his drive from midfield, it just quite wasn't there. And Odegaard, as I said, while he spent a lot of his time deeper trying to string the play together, he did his job very well. And I thought he had a good game as well, did Odegaard. But yeah, Calafiori came in and had an impact, I thought, for Lewis Kelly. And Mikel Merino, of course, had the biggest impact of all with those 2 goals off the bench. So, Gunners fans, what I would like to know, we saw how this played out. Is it a case where this is the blueprint? Merino obviously is not a striker, so would you want to start him and play him 90 minutes in the role, or do you think it's better for him to come on, maybe after some time when the defense is a little bit more tired and he can be more effective then? Or what? Like, how you guys see it? Because for me, I feel like if he's gonna play there, just play him there from the start. Let Trossard start off in his natural role off the left, and the only thing that you could say to that is if Sterling is the only player coming off the bench to give you an impact, that might be a bit tough. Would it be better to just start Sterling again, let him run for the 60 minutes, and then you sub him off and you bring on Merino to start? I don't know what the answer is, but I'm curious to see how Arteta has this thing play out here moving forward. We have one more week off, and then we'll get back into the Champions League, I think, the week after that. So, yeah, he's going to have to really figure it out very soon, because it's nice when we have these one fixture every week. You can just go back with the same 11 and don't worry so much, but yeah, he's gonna have to switch it up soon, because we're going to get into this period where we're playing the top 2 games every week again. So yeah, we'll see how he kind of sorts that out. Bless up Chris Smith. What go on, bro? Yeah, man, we're there. Chris, tomorrow night, bro, make sure you're there in the building. We're gonna talk about the U17 and all them things there, and some other things that have been in my brain about the Jamaican football space, Yeah, man. Tomorrow night at a show there, Chris. So tune in. It was too hot at Brighton for cool. Up top, RR, Wagwan. LFC is like KFC. Nobody does it better. All right, RR, cool. No? Having a whole 11 of attackers and only 1 striker is very interesting. No. Yeah, man, me told my goal bad. I don't know. Nitro, big up. Wagwan, bro. Gunners. Hope you get my pick. Yeah, man. You're in there, pristine. You're in there, man. You see your name on the standings this week, man. You don't know my lucky team, brother. Watching from a distance, if Marino continues to do well, but not well enough for Arsenal to win a trophy, Arsenal will go into transfer window not looking for a striker. And cycle repeats. Yeah, because Arteta and Ram for convert ball. If you same play, I saw Arteta same play, that's up. So yeah, next thing the man go score a brace every match now, and No Isak, no Gyökeres, no nobody. Havertz and Marino, the thing there. What time? Probably around them time, yeah, Pristine, like 8:30, 9 o'clock them time there, 8 o'clock. Somewhere in that time there. Definitely night time. Because I'm going to be on the road till at least about 7:30 tomorrow. So what may try though, we'll try build a thumbnail from tonight. That way we can put it out and we can see the time. Yeah man. Yeah man. So what? Me never saw where me in. So why am I can't in there? Bill man. The brother love squeeze off some wise. Yeah, but Raya commanding, yeah man, good performance. Nothing out. I wouldn't say it was outstanding, but it was very controlled, a very mature performance, And I'm telling you, this kid right here, Ethan Waneri, people, this guy is a real talent, man. I'm telling you. Arsenal fans have done this with a lot of players in terms of, this is the next one, or whatever. But trust me, this youth, he's talented, man. Very, very good player. Very, very good player, man. Had the 1 assist, 2 shots on target, 1 off target, 1 shot blocked. He attempted 8 dribbles, successful in 7 of them. Hit the woodwork twice. 91% passing accuracy for an attacking player. 64 touches, very involved in the game. 2 key pass. Tried 10 crosses, successful on 3, one of which created a goal. 3 long passes attempted, completed 1. 1 big chance created. He went into 14 duels and won 11. Went into 2 aerials and won both. So not only is he giving you the ball retention, the chance creation, the shooting, the dribbling, the man are winning duels as well. So like, what this kid doing bad? Nothing. Him never commit a foul. He must foul once. He make 1 interception and 3 tackle. All right, so him get dribble pass 2 times. So see there, work on getting dribble pass, Ethan. See something for work on there. Everything else, you doing your thing. Just continue, my boy. Continue. Because to me, him look like the type of player that could literally carry us for the rest of the season. And that's how well the man playing off the right in that role. It's the first time I've seen us play and we play like Saka was playing. Because literally we were trying to give him in the second half. We just stop going to the left. We just say, we're going to give this kid the ball. And it was a good strategy because they couldn't hold him. They could not stop him. The guy over there, was it Christensen on that side? Yeah, he couldn't do nothing with him. He was struggling. He was struggling against Waneri. So yeah, this kid is the real deal, people. I'm telling you, 17 years old. That's crazy. 17 years old. He'll be 18 in March, but he's still 17, people. And literally, and what I love about him is how calm he is. Like, after he set up that goal, he literally just pointed at Marino like, yo, I do this every day. I'm not even excited for none of this, Yeah, this might be good for the long term, not as a fan. Facts. But yeah, Arsenal got it done, people, and at least put some pressure on the league leaders. Cut it to 4 after this result. And that's all we can do, really, as a club right now. We have made our bed in terms of the results we've gotten so far. And we're a bit off the pace of the leaders, but all we can do is what we can control, and that's get 3 points every damn time. So we did that, and that's good enough for me. So the next fixture we're going to talk about, people, was one of the 10 o'clock fixtures. I think there were 6 10 o'clock fixtures, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. And, 5. And one of them was Aston Villa versus Ipswich. Now, this game right here, people, shocking. How Aston Villa only score 1 goal in this game. We have to give the credit to Alex Palmer, the makeshift goalkeeper, and kudos to the coach as well, because Muric, who's been playing all season, was on the bench, but the coach just decided to go with this guy Palmer, and it's proved to be an inspired choice because he pretty much won them the point. Um, as you can see in the first half, Ipswich went down to 10 men after Axel Tanzebe got his second yellow card. I think that happened in the 40th minute. There were two injuries in the first half as well, and Seesaw and Kamara went down, and they both had to get substituted. So Mings, who had gone off a few weeks ago and left them down with only one central defender in the team. Kanza, I think, is the only fit central defender right now. Sorry, Kanza is also out. So it's what's his name? The Sassy, who they just picked up on loan. So Kamara had been playing centre back, and he's out now. So Mings had to be forced on, and he played the rest of the game. Digne came off at halftime, and Matson came in. So you can see that what's his name, Emery, is trying to keep the players that he have left fit, because he's been cycling Digne and Matson quite a bit lately. It's going to be interesting to see if Tyrone Mings holds up, because now that Kamara is out, they'll be down to, I guess, Bogart going back to defense if one of these players get injured again. Ramsey came off at halftime as well, and Rashford came on, and Rashford proved to be important in the goal because his free kick led to the rebound goal that Ali Watkins scored. A great strike from Rashford. Beat the keeper but couldn't beat the crossbar. And then Watkins was there for the rebound. But the first goal in the match was scored by Ipswich. And it was when they were down to 10 men. A ball gets switched out to Omari Hutchinson. Hutchinson did well to get a yard on his marker, cross it in. And of course, that fox in the box, Liam Delap, always there on the doorstep, beat his marker to it and had a nice flick finish to the far post, beating Emi Martinez, and they took the lead 1-0 from that goal. But the points were split on the day, and again, it all comes down to Ipswich goalkeeper. I think he was excellent. Aston Villa, I thought, created enough chances in the game. Their expected goals was high enough for them to get the result, but in the end, they were not able to do so, mainly down to the goalkeeper, who made 6 saves on the day. Shots on target 6-3 in favor of Villa. Took a bag of shots, 25-4. Hit the woodwork. That was the goal. Basically, Rashford hitting the crossbar. But they missed 5 big chances, and that's never a recipe for getting 3 points. Final third entries were dominated by Villa as well. I mean, statistically, Villa did what they needed to do. They just did not put the ball into the goal. Whether that was poor finishing some of the times, and other times it was just really good goalkeeping by the keeper. When you look at the starting lineup, the big news, obviously, for Jamaica fans, Leon Bailey not in the squad at all, hearing that he picked up a niggle in training, but it's not deemed to be serious. So he should be available for selection when they play in the midweek against Liverpool. So we'll look out to see if he makes his return then. Even if from the bench, we just would love to see him in that lineup for that game. So we're going to look out for that. Omari, as I said, getting the assist in this fixture, and Ali Watkins getting a goal. Ali Watkins did miss 2 big chances as well. So he was culpable for not getting these 3 points. And it could prove to be crucial, as they are kind of slipping right now in the Premier League. They've always been in and around those Champions League areas, but it's been a little while now since we've seen them crack the top 4, top 5, and it's not getting any better for them as they face Liverpool, as we've said before, on Wednesday. So it's going to be tough for Aston Villa. We know that they were flying in the Champions League, and I'm sure Emery will have some of his attention towards that. But the hope is that Villa do what they have done against a lot of the top teams this season, and that is play their best football against the best teams. With Liverpool doing what they're doing this season, I would think that they would be a team that would be considered one of the best teams, and so hopefully Aston Villa can turn up on this day. Daniel Marlin, I think Daniel Marlin is a strange one because I saw him play up front when Watkins wasn't playing, and I kind of liked how he looked there. I thought he was a little bit quiet in this one. I mean, he had his moments, but I just feel like maybe it would be better off. I guess it was kind of down to, Bailey being out. But I was surprised that Asensio didn't start. I think Asensio suits that right side, especially the way that they play. I think Asensio would fit the role a bit better than Marlin, but he opted to start Marlin in this one. I would have probably started Asensio, but let's see if Asensio can force his way into the starting lineup. I feel like on that right side, Bailey and Asensio make the most sense to me. But yeah, he opted to go for Marlin out wide, and he did put Asensio on in like the 63rd minute. So it's gonna be interesting, people. It's gonna be interesting. I know we had said with these people coming in, the Rashfords of the world, the Marlins coming in, the Asensios coming in, that would potentially, spur on Leon Bailey, as it seems as if in situations when he's thrived in his career, he's always had some competition for his place. Now he has plenty of it, and he picked up a niggle in training, which is not the best timing for that. So speedy recovery, hopefully, and hopefully can force his way back into the coach's first team plans, Yeah, man, it was a good play by Omari, man. He basically, kind of lulled the defender to sleep and then burst around him to the right-hand side and got that crossing. DJ Giggs, what a player. They say Whisper was better than him. No look. Jeez, I'm Chris Smith. Don't remind me about that. That was my big concern when looking at the bench and not seeing Bailey knowing his injury history. Yeah, it's the timing of it is terrible, man, because all of us pretty much said, like, no, it's the time for him to step up because it could be a long time till we see him getting games based on all these people that them have now, You need to really put him foot down and say, I'm here. I know the system already. Let me play my games and play well so that the coach don't have no decision to make in terms of, benching me or anything like that. But now he's injured, so open the door now to these new signings to, hit the ground running, and then it's going to be tough after that. So anyway, Fulham and Forest as Red Skull. I think Red Skull gone, but he was saying earlier means a profit. I was saying people, almost everybody picked Forest to win or for the game to draw. Red Skull was the only one took my advice, and Game Birds as well. So those were the only two people that actually went for Fulham. Red Skull got the score spot on, the 2-1 to Fulham. And honestly, they could have scored more than this. I thought, Nuno, I've seen Nuno kind of rotate between a back three system and a back four system. And honestly, on this occasion, for whatever reason, even though they had more people in the middle, it seemed like they were more susceptible to crosses. They conceded to a cross from Adama Traore on his weaker foot. Brilliant cross, very similar actually to Waneri's cross. And that was met at the far post by Smith Rowe, who beat the keeper very well, running in at the back post. And then, Chris Wood got the equalizer, just a speculative pass over the top from Morgan Gibbs-White. Chris Wood didn't know much about it, located it after, and just basically used his strength to get on the ball, set himself up and then place it beautifully with his left foot into the corner to make it 1-1. But pretty much from that point and most points in the game, it looked like there was only going to be one winner, and that was Fulham. They played really well, I thought. I thought basically the entire team, the only player statistically that you could say didn't hold their own was Anthony Robinson. And I thought he wasn't that bad in the game, honestly. So yeah, in the end, it was from a corner set piece. It was whipped in near post. Jimenez got a great flick on it, and then Bassi finished it off at the far post with a header, past the outstretched Matt Sells. And Matt Sells, had a great game. So this game could have even been further apart. I think Fulham had one of their better displays, and as I was saying in the preview show, this is a team that you can bet when they play a top team in the league, they're going to show up, especially at Craven Cottage. I saw them, it wasn't that great of an attacking performance against Arsenal, but boy, did they defend well on that day. And today it was a different type of performance for them. They were really the ones taking it to Nottingham Forest, and it was to be expected. Nottingham Forest does not care about ball possession so much. But in terms of them not being able to create, I thought that was very, very, very shocking. But for whatever reason in this particular game, Forest transition game never got going. Elanga was really quiet compared to what he's been. And even though Wood got the goal, I thought other than that he was relatively quiet too. So yeah, it was an interesting one. I thought that Fulham was the deserved victors, though, if we're being honest. And just goes to show again, week to week in the Premier League, some of these teams when they turn up, can look really good. Fulham looked really, really good in this game. 4 big chances to none given up. Outshot them pretty wide margin, 24-8. Look at that. Sells had to make 8 saves on the day, so he was extremely busy. The shots on target, 10 shots on target. So not only did they get off a lot of shots, a lot of them were on target. The final third, big chances. They still missed 2 of their big chances. And of course, none created by Nottingham Forest. And more touches in the area. Final third entries, they had 10 more, 61-51. They outpassed them. So it was just all in all a great day. Sells, look at that, 1.77 prevented. So he was working people, 4 big saves. So yeah, man, Sells definitely got his money worth, but it wasn't enough for them to get anything out of the game. Man City basically got to get a little closer to them. So I don't think many other teams down there, besides I think Bournemouth, would have taken advantage as well. But the likes of Chelsea didn't take advantage, or Newcastle. So it could have been worse for Forest. More teams could have got closer to them. But I think for them, the main issue now is City is breathing down their neck. But yeah, good win for Fulham, and a team that on their day I think can give any team problems if they show up the right way. All right, now the next fixture, people. This is the one that I had my eyes on the most in real time. This was the Man City versus Newcastle fixture. And what a fixture it was for the citizens. That is 4-0 with a first half hat-trick from Omar Marmoush. The first goal, vintage Edison, well out of his box, goes direct over the top. And for some strange reason, Kieran Trippier took a terrible angle to that ball. Ends up losing out under the flight of the ball. Marmoush turns and chases. Keeper in no man's land, and a calm finish with a chip by Marmoush from a bouncing ball. That made it 1-0. Then the second goal was basically Gundo plays him in. He's right on the edge of the box. A good first touch to create the space for the shot. Gets a little deflection on the shot, but gets the luck and gets it to go to 2-0 after 24 minutes. Then in the 33rd minute, some great work from Savinho, who I think has been playing pretty consistently well for quite a while now. He set up that goal very well for Marmoush, just using his pace. He cuts in a lot, but he did the step over this time, went down the wing, cut it back with his right foot, and Marmoush had quite an easy finish for his hat-trick to make it 3-0. And then they added a fourth late in the game from a corner, flick on near post by Haaland to McAtee at the back post to finish. McAtee somehow has a knack for popping up in the box, has quite a few goals for somebody that doesn't play that much this season. 1.9 expected goals. So City were very clinical on the day. They created 4 big chances. I think they converted every single one, if I'm not mistaken, or they did miss one. All right, so 3 out of the 4 big chances they converted. City had more shots, 11-3. Let's see, shots on target, 7-1. So very quiet game for Newcastle. Just horrible from them, honestly. Very just toothless. I mean, Nothing like what we saw with them facing Arsenal in those Carabao Cup games for sure. Um, Shots outside the box, all right. Touches in the area, a lot more for City, which is to be expected. Then we had final third entries, double them up, 60 to 29. So Newcastle just couldn't get going. They couldn't get their counter going. We saw Real Madrid counter Man City to death in the Champions League. I thought in my preview going into this game that Newcastle would pose a similar threat. Yes, the names might not be on that same level, but the skill set and the speed is there. And we have seen them counter enough to know that they're very good at it. But in this day, Pep Guardiola's team definitely were up for it from the start. Um, I think the addition of the signing they got, Nico, was very important to just have an actual CDM playing this fixture. Um, look at that heat map, just locking everything in that midfield. And I think because Nico was beside him, I thought Gundo had one of his better games in this game since he came back this season. So, it just goes to show having a dedicated CDM in there can really, change the tide a bit. I thought Kusanov did well after his performance in his first game, not going so well. I thought Stones was the leader back there like he should be. Vardial didn't make a mistake, so he played good. Ederson did well. I thought Savinho was good. Marmoush, obviously, with the hat trick was good. And Foden, even though he didn't have a goal or assist, I thought he played well as well. It was a great performance. And on the flip side, I thought a lot of Newcastle players were poor. Trippier got the start, finally gets a starting berth after Livermore been playing the whole time. He was poor. Shar was poor. Byrne was poor. Thought Hall, that makes sense. He was a little better than the rest of them. I knew it was going to be an issue for them in midfield because I really feel like that Bruno, Tonali, and Joe Linton is like the perfect balanced midfield. Joe Willock was expected to fill in for Joe Linton, but never quite got going in this game. I thought he was a bit subpar even for him. And then the front three was quiet, anonymous. Isak, so dangerous in pretty much every other game, but this particular one, he just never got into the game. He just couldn't get into the game. It was not his day, and it really wasn't any of the attackers' days. Even the midfield, Bruno had to get pulled in the second half. Obviously, a little precautionary. He had a yellow card already, so there was no point in finishing out the game. Trippier got the hook at halftime, and so did Joe Willock. So that shows you, the people that the coach was wanting to step up on the day didn't, and he made those subs at halftime. So Newcastle, I don't know if it's time to start preying you yet in terms of where you're going to finish. I'm going to say right now, this was more of an anomaly. Like, this is not your normal performance or how you would normally play. I'm going to give you some more weeks to just really give a verdict on you. But for right now, that was not a good look in this game. Trust me. No, City and I. People, what want to know? Is this a sign of things to come for City? Right? We know they have that second leg coming up this week that could potentially derail some things again. But after that Madrid disappointment, for them to turn up in this game, score 4, and pretty much dominate, it shows that they can come, them can put away Champions League struggles and focus on the Premier League. And if any team is capable of just winning every game to end the season, it's them. But how much of this was Newcastle was terrible on the day? How much of it was, for me, I think the huge difference and the glaring difference in everything that happened in this game was this guy played, Nico Gonzalez. Very rarely does Pep bring midfielders in and they work right away. But I think the necessity and the need for a player of this skill set was so needed that even if he has, even if not every game is as good as this one, I think his presence alone will help. But this guy looks like a Pep midfielder, 97% passing accuracy, great retention, only went long twice and was successful on one. One is ground duels, very good ball retention. As I said, touched the ball over 100 times and only lose it 6 times the whole day. Made 3 tackles and an interception and wasn't dribble past. And as I said, when you look at his heat map, right there, shading the back four, typically a little more to the right, but popping up anywhere in that area. Plus, with the territory they had, you see more at the half line. But look at him cleaning up everything left to right in that zone. Nico Gonzalez, for me, game changer. Because now you can put Kovacic beside him and don't force Kovacic to be such a number 6. Gundo can play beside him and have a much freer box-to-box role where he can thrive. And him know him have the security of Nico Gonzalez there. So, it was imperative that they went and got a player to play the Rodri role. And it looks like they have gotten one that can definitely do a job, Bless up, Martin. Wagwan, bro. We're there. Only people that are overdose on cocoa juice would compare Omar with Whisper. Not going to lie, that might be our best performance in like 2 years. Yeah, man, it was very, very dominant. I mean, Isak couldn't get a sniff. Garden never run free. No time. Neither Murphy. I mean, it was so controlled. I don't remember Newcastle having a chance. They didn't. I think they said that they created one, but I don't remember that chance at all. Let me look at the shots. I swear I watched this whole game. Yeah, they didn't create a big chance. Okay, yeah, that don't make sense. Because I'm like, bro, I don't remember them getting no chance at all. I mean, they only took, 3 shots? One of them got on target. So, yeah, it was a rough day. Rough day for Newcastle. Yeah, man, Nico Gonzalez. Yeah, man, him definitely have that. He's what was missing in the setup. Like, I mean, they tried to put Kova there, but Kova have him deficiencies, Yeah, man, him just stay there. You can know him there. And that's what they needed. There's a little stability in that area. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. Any team that's gonna face them moving forward. I wouldn't be surprised as well if he is registered for the Champions League if we don't see Nico Gonzalez play in the second leg. Because that's what was missing from their team. The balance of that midfield is not there. I'm not saying they'll be able to shut out Madrid in the Bernabeu like how they were able to shut out Newcastle, but I just feel like having that player in the midfield will help quite a bit, So let's see. Yeah, man, the midfield actually look like a midfield. Not sure if they can do it again, but time will tell. I could see them reading off quite a bit of victories in a row, honestly, because them have that stability there, and I think Marmoush addition was very needed because it was getting a little bit stale, especially due to the fact that for whatever reason Pep don't want to play the 2 winger them one time. So if you're not gonna play a winger, 2 winger one time, you can't have 2 ball retention man on the field at all times. One of them have to be running in behind like how Marmoush does. Or cutting inside and giving goals. And that's what Marmoush give you. So yeah. Okay, so he is registered. Yeah. So if he don't play in this game, then Pep is for real smoking and he's not smoking anything good or some bush. Believe me. But yeah, big win for City, big statement win. I'm sure their fans would hope that they were a little bit closer to striking distance, but all they can do really is get 3 points at this point every week because I'm sure that they don't want to have to rely on winning the Champions League to play Champions League football again. So, they had some favorable results around them. They were able to stop a team that's close to them in Newcastle. So it was a good weekend for them. And Forest dropped all 3 points as well. So, that inches them closer to that 3rd spot as well. So I'm sure now that they're in their sights, that's probably what the initial goal in the league will be. Let's get past Nottingham Forest. And then who knows, Arsenal with their deficiencies in their team, before you know it, they're reeling in Arsenal for second as well. So they're just going to keep on trying to climb. but it doesn't look good for a lot of their opponents coming up right now based on what we saw in this game. They're looking like they're trying to approach what we know of Manchester City right now. This week is crucial for them though, guys, for their psyche overall. Yeah, if they can somehow turn them over at the Bernabeu on Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever the game is, then yeah, that's gonna be something special, and it could have them kick on in the league as well. You never know, but it's looking better for them people for sure. As Pep said for Madrid, game 1% chance, 99% faith in Madrid. Jeez, believe no man. I DJ Gigs, I want to say that it's not until I don't know if the Champions League is like right after this week or not. Cause I don't know if there's like a week break before or them go right into the next round the next week. So if it's the next week, then that simply mean it's going to be the week of the what's the 16th, so 17, 18, so 18, 19. So it's going to be the week of the 25th or 26th. That would be the days, the Tuesday and the Wednesday. So 25th or 26th of February. If there's no like week break in between. I can't remember if there is or not. Let me see. Champions League knockout matches. I don't think them put the other round yet. Yeah, them not put the next round yet by a date. Yeah, I'm not put it up yet. So I don't know if it's the week after this or them take a break for a week and then it's back like first week of March. I have to check that. But it's either end of this month or first week of March. But I want to say it's like right away. I think once them game I play, them do the draft for the next round, and then the game then should be the week after, I think. But I'll confirm that at a later time. All right, so let's go back into the Premier League. And let's head to the next 10 o'clock game, which was Bournemouth and Southampton. Now, Bournemouth, definitely good value. When it was 2-1 after Suleiman got the goal, I have to give Southampton some credit. As a matter of fact, that second half by Southampton, really good. And this manager hasn't gotten the most points since he's been there, but they have played a lot better under this manager. It have to be said. Bournemouth had a spell in the first half where they were unplayable. They got 2 goals early in that spell, and they continued until about halftime. And then in the second half, I thought that Southampton played one of their better halves. That guy Suleiman is a problem in front of goal. Very dangerous. He had a good finish inside the box after a pass from Onuachu. But the 2 goals from Bournemouth, well, the first goal from Bournemouth was really class. Christie, who ended up getting the second goal for Bournemouth, played a peach of a cross, and Otara just had to glance it into at the far post to make it 1-0. And then Christie scored with that same left foot 2 minutes later to make it 2-0. And then, as I said, good second half from Southampton, especially, pretty much at the start of the second half. And then once Dibbling came on for small bone, they really put it on Bournemouth for I would say a good 20 minutes or so. And then, once they couldn't find that equalizer, it was always going to be, they were always one counter away to going back down 3-1 or by 2 goals. And Tavernier was able to finish after some good work from Semenyo coming down the left side, cutting in, and then finding Tavernier, who did the rest with another pile driving shot that Ramsdale could only get a hand on. So 3-1 to Bournemouth. They continue to, make strides in the league. These are the type of games where maybe earlier in the season Bournemouth was dropping points, but the mark of a good team is to be able to get up for all these teams. And I thought they did enough over the overall balance of play to win the game. When you look at the stats, pretty even in terms of possession, expected goals not that far apart, either 1.2 to 0.79, but they did create 2 more big chances. They did have more shots on target, and also they had a few more final third entries. But again, second half performance by Southampton, you need to at least give them some credit. They didn't give up, they kept fighting. It just wasn't enough in the end. And to be fair, the better team did win on the day. So Southampton looking more and more likely at this point, not mathematically out of it, but I would say they are going to go back down to the championship for sure, people. Southampton is gone. But Bournemouth with another victory. And as I said, some of their rivals around them lost, the likes of Chelsea, Newcastle getting beat by City. So it was a good week for Bournemouth instead of in terms of them and moving around the table. Now this game, 1-0 finish to Brentford. I don't know how for the life of me Brentford never scored more than 1 goal in the first half. And in a way, I don't know how West Ham never get an equalizer in the second half, because to me, this was a tale of 2 halves. The better football was played by Brentford. They had a goal disallowed. They had some good saves made from Areola as well, denying them. And then in the second half, I thought the triple sub, brought some life into the proceedings. I think Jared Bowen played a lot better in the second half due to the fact that he wasn't playing through the middle anymore. He could play his more preferred role with Evan Ferguson on. But yeah, they just did not do enough to get a result, to pull back a goal. So their home fans had to see them go down to a 1-0 defeat. West Ham had the more possession, but they gave up 2 big chances, only created 1. Shots on target in favor of the visiting team, 5-3, Brentford. Both teams hit the woodwork though. And they missed their 1 big chance. And their opponents also, Brentford also missed 1 big chance, but they scored 1 as well. And that proved to be the winning goal very early in the proceedings, the 4th minute from Kevin Schade. Final third entries dead even. So you can see it was pretty much a back and forth. And as I said, the first half, the better team was Brentford. Second half, the better team was West Ham. But I think West Ham just never quite did enough to get a goal in this one. Some good goalkeeping as well has to be said by Mark Flecken in goal, who made quite a few saves. I think he made like 7 saves or something like that. But it give him credit for 3, but they do all heap of things. Yeah, so in that first half, Areola kept them in the game, but his attackers did not repay him by getting a goal to get a point at least. They huffed and puffed, but they could not get a goal. So 1-0 to Brentford. Their away form has definitely picked up lately. On the Jamaican side of things, just some news on some of the players. For the first time in a while, I saw some social media posts from Mikel Antonio. He was in his gym, it looked like, doing some training with some weights and stuff on his feet, which was a brilliant sign. Yeah, awesome. This guy's a machine. He's already on his feet working out. That's great. And then, of course, Big Bad Pinnock was on the bench, was forced to come on due to Sepp Vandenberg picking up an injury. So we're wondering, when would Pinnock get back in the starting lineup? Will the coach kind of ease him back in, which it looked like they were easing him back in. Plus, their defense had been playing really well. So I thought it would be unfair on Collins or Sepp Vandenberg to remove them. And I thought the only way Pinnock would start is if they change the system to a back 3. Well, they stayed with the back 4. Pinnock didn't start, but he was forced to come on. So if Vandenberg has any injury, I could see Pinnock returning to the starting lineup as of next week, people. So we will watch for that press conference and see what's said about Sepp Vandenberg. That could be Pinnock's ticket back into the first team. And it's good timing, because that international window is coming up very, very shortly. So that was the 1-0 win for Brentford. Now, a team that people need to start to give credit, this Everton team, the 2-2 was not a fluke. They end up going to Crystal Palace and getting a result 2-1, goals from Beto and Alcaraz first and second half, and JP Mateta in the 47th minute got the equalizer after Beto, like 2 minutes after the restart. The stats in this game, interesting, because Palace had the better expected goals, the more possession, they created more big chances. But honestly, Jordan Pickford, showing why he is the number one for England, had a good game in goal, made some key crucial stops. Then you have shots on target, dead even at 6. Palace hit the woodwork one time, and they weren't clinical enough. They missed 3 big chances out of the 4. Meanwhile, Everton converted one of their 2 big chances. Really nice goal scored by Beto as well. Good composure, taking the touch, slotting the keeper. Mateta's goal came from us, kind of a recycled set piece, kind of bouncing around. Gay, he flicked it over the top and taking it out of the ear was Mateta. Mateta finishing to the corner. And then Alcaraz got a goal in the 80th minute. Basically, good work from Harrison, whipping it to the back post. Header kept alive. It bounces out to Ashley Young, who bangs a shot to goal. The best that Hughes could do was chest it down in the path of Alcaraz, and he slotted home to make it 2-1, and that proved to be the winning goal on the day. So I think a really, really big result for Everton. I did not pick them to win this game. I thought that maybe the letdown from the Merseyside derby might get to them. But of course, the experienced manager that is David Moyes, he just did not allow that to happen on the day. And I thought they played with the same intensity that they showed in the Merseyside derby. And that's commendable based on the fact that obviously, there would have been a lot of emotions and all of that coming out of that game. A long game, 11 minutes of injury time, but the players definitely played that game on the weekend as if that game had happened like a month ago. So they didn't really show any signs. They were the same, fighting team that they have been under David Moyes. And their striker, Beto, has found form at the perfect time to kind of coincide with the better football being played by Everton under Moyes. So, they're on an upswing. I think they're a team right now that, most teams would probably look at and say, boy, I don't know if I want to play them right now. And the thing that I have to give Moyes credit for, like, I think the most creative player that they have on the team and the one really carrying them along has been NDI. He wasn't around, so Alcaraz steps up. Beto steps up in the absence of NDI as well. So he's just getting a tune out of these players, and it can't be understated the effect he's had. So crazy stat that Amorim has coached however many amount of games, and him gone like 14 points. And Moyes has only been there for like 6 games, I think it is, and he's on 13 points as well. So it's crazy. This man have the same amount of points as Amorim in like, I don't know how many less games, like 10 less games or 6 less games or whatever it is. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. David Moyes definitely doing his thing, looking like a genius hire by Everton at this point. TNT didn't make it. I don't know, did they? I think today was their game, no? Brother, I'm so upset about what happened. I haven't even looked at it today's CONCACAF U17. All right, let's see. Trinidad got 2-0 from Costa Rica, so no, they didn't make it. And Haiti is gone through. Haiti beat Guatemala. So it looks like Canada is headed to the World Cup. Costa Rica, Mexico, Honduras, Haiti, USA, Panama, and El Salvador. No Jamaica. So Haiti did get their 2-0 result today. That basically they had the same situation as us. I think a draw would have been okay for them too, I think. But anyway, they got the win. Goals in the 8th minute and the 94th minute. So it was a tight game. But they did get there. They got it over the line. Mount Pleasant winger play the 90. Franco. Wow. Yeah, sorry people. I get a little sidetrack, but I just realize me not even look upon them something from the start, brother. So as some of vibes broke, me not even look upon the rest of the ball game them. Sure. Upsetting. Tomorrow night, people. Tomorrow night show we have the post-mortem, Try explain what go on. Crystal Palace, Everton. All right, that was the last game on Saturday. So 2 games left for the week, people. And they happened today on Sunday. The first game was one I was watching very intently, people. Luis Diaz and Salah gave them a comfortable 2-0 lead in the first half. And then that second half was not going to script for Liverpool. Look at the attack momentum in that second half, people. Wolves are the blue team. Look at that. Wolves dominate the second half. It was crazy. I mean, I know, you're controlling the game, playing in first gear, but I'm sure even Slot would say he did not want that second half to be like the way it was. I mean, they were all over them. But the first goal, a scrappy one, good build-up play by Liverpool. I think Salah tried to play a one-time pass that wasn't the best, but it was poorly defended by Totti Gomez. Somehow he ended up flick it on to the far post, and then Diaz just ran into the ball, and it bounced off Diaz, bounced off of people and going at a goal. A real scrappy goal, but a goal nonetheless. And then another mistake by the defense. I think this time it was Agbadu tried to clear a pass played by McAllister, which was really a searching pass. Wasn't the best pass in the world, but it was just horribly misplayed by the defender. Diaz always there to chase down things. Ends up in a foot race with Jose Sa, and he was always going to get there first, just get a touch on it and go over. And it was definitely a penalty. I don't think it was enough to overturn. And Salah does what he does, converts penalties. They went up 2-0, as I said, and it looked like it was going to be cruise control. The only incident really that happened in that first half that could have gone another way, Konate got a stupid yellow card, and then right after he got that yellow card, he basically barged into Mateus Cunha right outside the box and could have been deemed a second yellow. Would have been harsh, honestly. But I think that forced the manager into thinking about taking him off. And Kwanzaa came on in the second half. And I don't want to put it all on Kwanzaa, why they were under the cash so much in the second half. But that's the one thing that changed. So we have to think that it had an impact on that happening. But I think more importantly, Guedes and Sarabia, who were dog doodle in the first half, came off at halftime. Munetsi, who they just signed, the Zimbabwean, looked like a nice little striker that they could use in the absence of Strand Larson. And then Bellegarde, I was surprised, didn't start because he played really well in the last game. So those 2 subs definitely brought some freshness to the attack. I thought it freed up Cunha even more, gave him more of a license to really find the football and find space, which I think is when he's at his best, when you don't have him playing a nail-down position and he can just float and find the football and find the link up players to link with. And once Bellegarde came on and the striker was up front occupying that back line, then you saw the freedom for Cunha to have. And in the end, he did create a moment of brilliance, which he has done a lot this season, chopping off of his right foot to his weaker left, and then you get in the right mixture of power and accuracy to curl it into the far post. Really no chance for Alisson there. And then, as I said, the game could have gone in the direction of a draw because Liverpool never really got a handle of the game after the first goal by Wolves. And, up until the end and the final whistle, it looked as if they might just concede a second goal. But in the end, they were able to see it out. I thought Bradley came on for Trent and played much better than he did against Everton. So he kind of shored it up. And then, the writing was on the wall when Endo came on for Diaz, an attacking player, in the 71st minute. He was already basically saying, okay, let's just try to keep this game at 2-1. So yeah, Big result for them. I thought, it as I said, it wasn't the prettiest. It didn't look the best. Possession stats 50-50, expected goals right dead even. Two big chances to one. So yeah, this game was a lot closer than many Liverpool fans would have liked. But at the end of the day, 3 points are 3 points. You don't get a 2 points because it was close. You get three just the same. So their objective was met. So I don't think they'll be too upset. But again, how much of that will factor into their results coming up when they play better teams? Will we see Liverpool step up their game, or will it be similar to performances we saw against Everton and against Wolves, where I'm sure some Liverpool fans would want a bit more from their team? But again, if they keep this up, the chances that they score, they're going to be hard to beat. As you can see, they got two chances, they converted both, and they won the game 2-1. So if they just miss one of those chances, then it's a draw they're looking at, right? So, good work for them. But again, when you look at the balance of play, 50-50 at home to Wolves, the chances being so even, the shots being so even, the entries being so even, I'm sure that Arne Slot will be talking to them and saying, listen, we can't just start try to scrape them game, because you're not going to get through. So we try to scrape one in the Merseyside derby and we never get away with it. This time they got away with it. How many more will they get away with playing like this? That's what I need to find out, people. But let's see, it's at least the Liverpool team is looking human. Like they're just not going to robot the league and win by 50 points. It looks like they're going to drop points at some point, and it's just going to be on the chasers, ourselves, Forest, Cities, everybody chasing to just get 3 points every damn week, right? That's the only way me see it happening. But Liverpool in the end got the damn 2-1, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Bless up, Sean. Big up yourself. Upset Suriname was not in this damn U17. That's terrible. Best up ball pre-Wagwan. The Liverpool fans them run out. So ball pre, are you okay with the performance today? Or are you not even business with that? Are those results are you think? Everton now ahead of United. No words needed. Wagwan, you look tired, brother. Nah, man, I'm good, man. I'm a good man. Big up JD. Moise is an experienced coach. Let's don't forget that him time. Yeah. Moise is extremely experienced. Congrats to the Asians. I wonder how many of those boys played at the last U15 that finished third. That's a damn good question, Something we can research and find out. And similarly, how many of our players played? Same for me. From the whistleblower last night, I haven't looked back at the games. Sorry, I never shared it. I already know what happened. The backline players must have been the top donors. Joe don't like criticize children. Yeah, man. Rob Smith tomorrow night be in the building, bro. I go give my full analysis on everything, because I do a preview show for the game, and I don't know how actually. I not give away nothing for tomorrow night show. Tomorrow night, people, all the Jamaican fans want some kind of analysis as to what happened and how we got here. I will try to provide that tomorrow. Long time Moise did it. No, can't even count the time away. You know, did it the whole time. Them playing Little City next week. Them good. One thing with City fans, them are the reverse psychology bosses, man. Whenever they want a result, them start downplay the thing. Bless up T got on the ball. Big up yourself. Yeah, man. Everybody subscribe to Sports Down the Middle Foundation program. Actually, Tiga, to be totally honest, the first show that I ever saw talking about Jamaica football was one of Uno show when we used to have the panel with Eddie and you and I know the rest of the people them name. But yeah, I didn't even leave a comment and say, yo, I am so and so, and I like the content, and if you ever want somebody else on the panel, let me know. But them time me never met no video, me never even dep on no stream yet. So I guess when I see that, I say, who the hell is this guy, you know? But yeah, that was actually the first Reggae Boys content I ever watched. It was a Sports Down the Middle show. Sherman Scott said, Gunners for life. Me say the same, brother. Results time, my bro, the grind. Okay, so you're not business with no kind of performance. Yeah, same thing. My cousin tell me to. A Liverpool fan or my cousin. Man, actually never tell me, but see him post it. Like, performance don't matter right now. Results. 80 also, I do a research of where they are currently playing their soccer. Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out how many of the players come from that U15 team that we lost to in the I think it was the third place match in the U15. How many of these players would make the under 20 team that didn't qualify? I don't think any of them, you know. Because you have to remember, you know, they're 16. Those guys were 18, 19. So I mean, I shouldn't say I don't think any of them. Maybe a few could. Yeah. Will 80 save the day? It would have been a disgrace to have no Caribbean team in the World Cup. Yeah. Yeah, man. Little history of my YouTube journey. It was the first one I ever saw. Yeah, no, not saying they're the first, you know. That's just me personally. It's the first one I saw. I knew Simon apart from YouTube because when he made his debut as an analyst when he was like 11 or 12 or whatever it was, my father told me about him because my father was on a panel with him during the World Cup, and he was like, yo, there's this kid, Simon. He's like 11 or 12. He like knows a lot about football, blah, blah, blah. So I knew of Simon from before, not necessarily from his YouTube channel. And then once I found Sports Down the Middle, then I realized that Simon had a channel. So he was like probably the second person I saw. And then I think the next person I would have seen after that would have been IMAX Football, I think. And that's when I kind of like really started to watch programs like a lot and start to like make comments and, you know, create my moniker on YouTube or whatever the case is. Yeah. Kind of just happened organically. It was never my intention. But yeah, I just was like, yo, clearly there's a market for people to talk football on YouTube. And this is what I do in my everyday life with people that I know. So why not do it to other people too? You know, why not? I don't know how many goals him gone, you know, but my cousin tell me today, say, it no matter because I just threw a Spanish league, you know? So I say, all right, boss. So the last game of the week, people, I got wrong as well. Damn it, man. Why would I ever say Man U was going to win a game? So I thought Man U would turn them over. This pick was just based on both teams being terrible. And I was just like, whichever team at home, and I have the pressure, then probably going to lose. But that was not the case. Tottenham did get the win 1-0, and I thought they were good value for it. I think the end of the game, United looked like they might find the equalizer, but it was not meant to be. I think Vicario in goal was very, very big for them today. You can see his presence is a lot better than the other keeper, Kinski or whatever his name is. And yeah, Spurs, you know, got the early goal through Madison and basically were able to hold on to get the result. You know, Vicario had a big day, you know, keeping out Man United on the day. Let's look at the stats. Spurs had the advantage. They had the better expected goals as well, 2.23 to 1.52. But United did create one more big chance on the day. Shots were very close, 22 to 16. Both keepers busy, 6 saves each. So, you know, defense was optional in this game, which was to be expected. 7 on target to 6 in favor of Spurs. Then when you look at the big chances missed, 2 for United, 2 that they made, and the one big chance that fell to Madison, he buried. Touches in the area, Spurs had the advantage there. And then final third entry is very even, 48 to 45. So yeah, it was a pretty tight game. I thought the difference definitely was just the finishing, you know, 2 big chances there created by United, but they were unable to convert either of them. When you look at the lineups as well, you know, we saw that Ahmad was out for the season, so that was probably the worst possible thing could happen to United right now. And we saw Hoyland and Xerxes start, which you rarely see, and neither one of them were effective on the day. Garnacho had a huge chance and put it way over the bar in the first half. That really should have been tied up 1-1 after that play. But yeah, I think the other chance in the game fell to Xerxes. Xerxes got the other chance. This right there at the penalty spot, just couldn't get his header on target. It's not looking so good for my prediction on Xerxes. I was telling people that he's a really talented baller and everything, and he just hasn't really cut it. He just hasn't done well enough. But how much of that is on him and how much of that is just on United's whole setup right now? I mean, apart from Amad Diallo, what players have really had good seasons? Fernandez has had maybe some good stats and some good performances, but he's had some bad ones as well. I don't think De Ligt has been so bad over the course of the season as some of the other players. But it's not looking good for them. Spurs getting back a little bit healthy as well. As I said, the goalkeeper started. Brennan Johnson came on. Archie Gray finally didn't have to start a game for once. They still have quite a few out. Romero, Solanke, Van de Ven. But they're getting a little bit fitter. And Vicario in goal, I think is going to make a huge difference. He has some deficiencies definitely on crosses, but I think his overall gameplay, he's playing out from the back much better than any other thing that they have had. And you can see today in a clean sheet performance, a bunch of saves, pretty much having the highest rating, soccer sofa rating, or sofa score rating, on the entire pitch. So 1-0 to Spurs, big result for them. That is it. And I still didn't put that on the screen, but that's okay. When you first found the shows like these, you were addicted to it, like? Yeah. It was cool because, for one, what it did make me do, honestly, like I've always been in tune with a lot of the things going on with Jamaica teams and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But it definitely made me even more aware of certain things. Linking up with people who dedicate themselves to, forming databases and tracking players and, making sure that I'm following all the sites that put out the information. And, it was kind of fun to get back into a space where, I'm hunting down the info, right? That was fun, like, and kind of seeing how each person does their thing and which ones are gravitated more towards, and just hearing all the different narratives surrounding the teams and makeup of the teams, and it was interesting. And Rob Smith said, "Nana boss YouTube with the voice note." Yeah, it was around that time when I would have found the show. I think, as a matter of fact, I think that Sports Town in the Middle show that I found was literally talking about that whole interaction where the players like tape recorded the conversation. Yeah. Red Skull, you there? Big up. You're doing great, Jason. Like your channel, great content. Your respect float, yeah, man. So I do my thing the way me see it, some people might not agree with all the content I put out, and that's fine. Hopefully, you'll at least give me the time to explain myself if you don't agree with something. And Rob Smith can tell you, and whoever else been around the content. I think one thing that I like about how I try to do it, at least, there's a lot of times when things are going on in the space, and I could easily make a thumbnail and a title and talk on something for 2 hours or whatever. But I try to really base it on what I love about the game, which is analytics and watching and tactics and things of that nature. So hopefully that is what people would come here for more than anything. No, not saying that I won't touch topics that are controversial and whatever, but I don't know, that doesn't excite me as much as, like, we lost to El Salvador. Here are 3 reasons why it happened, in my estimation, showing you a tactical board, showing you things like that. That's what I enjoy doing the most, right? Or talking about the stats of the game and making that make sense of the outcome of the game. And that's what I like. So, yeah. That's my favorite thing to do. Almost the same as his whole United career, for real. Xerxes was balling out. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not. Spence was good, him for forward. Yeah, Spence, man. Me hear somebody say today that somebody say Spence no good. Why we go for our next reject baller when I better than a JPL baller them? And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. A man really see Jed Spence. Well, clearly them never really watch the man play. If you say him not good, I don't know what good is. He's definitely a good player. Edison 3 goals assists in the EPL. Rasmus 2 goal assists. Actually, say he found the channels a little before the Gold Cup. Okay. We found a community that love Jamaica football. It's a bit different now. I remember Triple Treat weekend, you could find all the bloggers in one spot. Yeah, Coach is another one that I found relatively early. And I used to frequent these Triple Treat shows on the weekend for sure. Your content is good because I can come here and talk ball. I live ball. All the stuff that surrounds it can be annoying. Yeah, look, there's a place for it in a rap because sometimes those things lend itself to what happens in the ball, you know, especially in Jamaica. So it's not like you can ignore it all the way, but like I just don't want that to be the root of the program. You know what I'm saying? Like I honestly feel like some content creators they wait for the big scandal to like make content, you know, and while I think there's a place for that and you have to talk about that, I just don't want that to be the only thing I ever talk about. You know, that's all. Because at the end of the day, that's less about football and more about the politics and all of those things, you know, which play a role in the football for sure, but it don't have to be the whole role, the whole thing or the whole story. Now, man, well, yeah, you miss all the game then, but now it's time to do the reveal, people. So I have about a little over 20 minutes left in the show. So we're making good timing, and now it's time to show how well or how poorly we all did this week in the picks. So first and foremost, people, we're going to show on screen the prediction standings for the week. And the winner this week goes to the man himself, Biggs G. Biggs G religiously every week. If he missed the show, he puts his comment underneath the video with all his picks. And Biggs G with a 6-4 record didn't predict any of the games spot on, but he didn't need to because no one else was able to tackle the 5-win mark in the prediction. So Biggs G get another championship trophy for this week. Won last week, gave me a great idea. Compile all the 38 weeks and make a big board of most winners, most donkeys of the week. So we are work on that, people, in my database. I put it all together so we can have a big reveal at the final week of the season. Obviously, we'll have our picks that week, but we'll also reveal the champion for the entire season, the most consistent predictor of the season. Biggs G is up there in the running, you know, because he's won a few of these championship weeks and he won another one today. So Biggs G, big up yourself anyway, the boss. 6-4 for the week. Next, my boss, Red Skull, the hot skull, the one gunner himself, Red Skull with a 5-5, but got the tiebreaker over Game Birds because he predicted 2 games correct. This week, Red Skull was able to predict the Fulham 2-1 over Nottingham Forest and the Everton 2-1 over Crystal Palace. Game Birds was in third, as you see there, with a 5-5 record. No games predicted correctly. Then Hot Chili and Pristine tied for fourth with a 4-6 record, but they both got 2 games right. Chile was able to predict the Arsenal game 2-0 and also the Bournemouth Southampton game 3-1. Pristine picked the 3-1 Bournemouth game as well and also the 2-1 Everton win over Palace. So those were somehow the Southampton and Everton games were popular scorelines. DOC Sports, keep up the good work over there, teaching those girls and developing those girls. We really love to see those posts you put out, bro. So keep on putting in the work. You, Float Management, and Mass Sports World, all 4-6 records with no correct picks. And then, It was close, people. I almost had to say to myself this week. 3-7, poor. But I know my damn team. So when I say Arsenal going to win the game 2-0, I'm going to win the damn game 2-0. So that one correct score broke the tie break for me, and I was able to avoid being on this next page. And the donkey of the week for the week, people. Somebody that, based on how he speaks, you would never think he would ever be the donkey of the week. But it's becoming a frequent occurrence for this person. And it's none other than one of the original subscribers to the channel, always giving the support. But I have to call a spade, or call a donkey in this case. And that is the one and only Duke. 3-7 with no correct scores. Lost the tiebreaker, so we give a big dirty stinking hee-haw to the Duke this week, people. Yes, we're going to need to put a picture of Duke on the donkey soon. Yes, but Duke, big up yourself anyway there, no boss, but you are the donkey of the week. Yes, people. So that is it, Donkey of the week revealed. Sorry, Duke. It was not your week, my boss. It was not your week. Ja Liverpool a fight. Wonder which team I'm going to pick them win. Hopefully, Hot Chili team, Big G win this week. Yeah, man. Big G win, man. Poor week, but 2 correct scores is good. Yeah, true. Yeah, correct scores will keep you off the donkey, It kept me off this week. If we are going to be technical, if I was serious, I would have went for City to win, but reverse psychology. Yeah, man. We know the City style, man. They have a bridging just like you, Chile. The man ever downplay City. Ever. Now, them could have been playing Southampton. They must say, better we draw the game. The man, the Ramfit, reverse psychology of the thing star. It's crazy. It did work. I went for 3-2 Newcastle, so I was way off. I didn't think Newcastle would just not show up like that. That's crazy. All right, people. So the last order of business before we close off tonight, people. Of course, Mans plays the fantasy. So I want to check in with that. Let's say a Forest kill pristine, true, because if that game did go the other way, because I feel like Big G did go for Forest too. So I don't really that game. But I'll tell you the game mess you up pristine. Yeah, the West Ham game. Big G went for Brentford. Only DOC and Big G. Everybody else go for draw or West Ham win. So that game they really set him apart. Why go? Yeah, all right. That one there, warranted. I don't even know what context me use go the other way, but no context no work. So me accept that way there. We can't go around that one there. All right, so let me share this now. This is the fantasy. I could see how the I Am Sure Sports League are going. Big up yourself, Mannings. If you haven't already subscribed to I Am Sure Sports, definitely brings you the content. Typically during the week. And subscribe to I Am Sure Sports. He's the one that put together this nice league. And Biggs G might have won the predictions this week, but I'm definitely, doing my thing in the fantasy. Because Biggs G was leading me for a long stretch, but I've stretched out the gap now, 28 points, but I can't catch Badaman, Philip Clark star. Every week, the man does have prips. If I beat him by 1. If he beat me by about 3, 4. But I can't make up no ground on him star. But anyway, this was my team this week. I got 65 points. Not bad. Not the best, but 65 is very serviceable. Flecken got me 10 points. Good performance. I was a bit upset because I benched Raya. And I was like, watch my luck. Flecken get like 0 now, and Raya have the 6 on my bench. Actually 7 because I think he got a bonus point. But Flecken, man of the match performance, 10 points with a clean sheet. Gabriel got a clean sheet. Now, the week is not over because they're counting the Villa game. So I have 3 players left to play. Well, 4, because I have Rogers too. Gakpo was a terrible pickup by me. I didn't realize that the injury would have kept him out of one of the games. So I really and truly should have probably picked up Watkins instead of Gakpo. But hopefully, Gakpo is fit enough to come back for the next game and does something in a loss. You know what I mean? I'm glad Trent got some points now because I want them lose the next game. And Salah, everybody in the world have Salah, so it's not like Salah doing anything going to help me. I think Gakpo would be the differential person. So if Villa can beat them like 4-2 with Rogers scoring 4 goals and Gakpo scoring a brace, that would be perfect. Yeah. Because then would have catch him because Rogers 4 goal would have pass out Philip Clark, you know. But 65 points as of now, and I can continue to gain points. Moyes is on my assistant manager chip. He got me 8 more points this week. So thank you, David Moyes. You did your thing last week in the double game week, and you get 8 more this week. So thank you, boss. Yes, good use of the manager chip there. But let's see how Badaman got 69. Why if it is 69? Sells with 3. Cucurella. So him have Trent and Salah as well. And Rogers and Rashford. So him have the potential to get a lot more points too if, you know, Trent can do something, Salah. But I have Trent and Salah, so that will make a difference, and Rogers. So the difference really is Rashford versus Gakpo. And right now, you'd have to give Rashford the edge because there's no telling if Gakpo will play. Plus, him have Arne Slot as him assistant manager chip. So him can potentially get more points out of Slot. Now, if Slot lose to Villa, then that would be good because Villa lower than them in the table, and I think that's basically how the points kind of work, you know. So, yeah, definitely a lot hinge on Villa getting a result, preferably a win in real life and in fantasy. So, Villa, please, may I beg you, play better than you play against Ipswich. Do. So, yeah, we have that left to come. I'm going to need a minor miracle to catch Badaman this week, Philip Clark. But yeah, we have a whole heap of weeks left, and as long as we can stay within, you know, I'd say between 15 and 50, because in fantasy, 50 points is not the most to make up. So it just gonna come down to some good decisions, making sure we're maximizing my team. Yeah. Then the fantasy draft leagues that I'm in, I'm running away with them, to be honest. So in this one, I have about 100 odd point lead. We got 1200 odd. That's good in fantasy draft, you know. Because you don't get no bonus for captain and them something there. But this was the team so far. Of course, the week not over because Salah playing. So I have Salah and Konate left to play a game. And I picked up Leon Bailey this week again. Did not know about the niggle he picked up in training. So hopefully him get some time in the second game because Nico Williams got 1. So we don't really want him sub on so bad. Need Bailey to start or at least impact the game off the bench and get some points. That would be nice. And yeah, just because I need in real life to happen, I could care less if Konate get a next 0. That means him get score upon and they might lose. But yeah, 42 points, not the best, but enough for the competition. And then in the other league, this is like with my cousin them and thing. I'm also in first, and I have an even further lead, and I'm scoring even more points, almost 1,300. So this was how I got 51 this week. Raya Collins got 8 with a clean sheet and a bonus. Hoyson got 2. Konate came off at halftime, had a yellow with a 0. Mitchell only got 1. Foden 3. Semenyo 4. Dango 7. Salah scored and Cunha with 9 today as well. I think he got the man of the match in that game. So yeah, good performance all around. Definitely staying within striking distance. But let me look back at this table in the I Am Sure League. Let me see who else in this league. Because some of you might know these people, you know. So that's Fabi Frano, always on some of the programs. Big up yourself, Demo. Haven't really seen you much around out and about, but I know you're dealing with some stuff. So all the best to you and the fam. Duke, donkey of the week this week, but in the top 6 in the fantasy. Then that's J. Ross. Big up yourself, J. Ross. Glovan Palmer. Adrian Allen. There goes Teagat on the ball in 10th. Namesake in 12th. Dre Anywhere Sports, subscribe to his channel as well. Him there 13th. Who else there now? Drew Ross, big up yourself. Big moderator to all the channel them. Him there all the way down at 16th. Then Cranky now. I guess him not too know about the fantasy thing. Him there 17th. But last place right now, Firefox Gunners look like him start play. 875. Crazy Yardy from, that must be Crazy Yardy TV. Christopher Wright, big up yourself. Nigel Blair, Stamp Football Club. Wonder if I coach Stampy that. Jason Campbell. Yeah, man. So a lot of people in the league, 23. And yeah, we not do 3 bad. We're there 1+1 place right now. So I guess that's fitting for a Gunners fan, right? To be in second. So we're there second right now. And yeah, we are push for the title. We are try for, we have strikers in our team, so we might can make a comeback, you know. Yeah, man. But that is it, you know, people. Fully enjoy the show tonight. I'm glad I could bring you the content, talk about all the games. Oh, last thing, people. Never even look upon this, people. The Premier League table. That would be a nice thing to look at before we go. No, Chile, I don't hate really. But I still think the counter-attacking style of Newcastle would have caused no problems. Honestly, it wasn't even being a hater. It was like literally that's what I thought would happen. I didn't see the domination coming. I didn't see that. So Southampton, as I said earlier, people, I don't see them being able to survive. I have to give kudos to the coach though, because the players are not giving up. They're trying, but they can't. They don't have enough. They don't have enough. So they'll be going back to the championship. Then we have Leicester in 19th now and 17 points. Ipswich in 18th and 17 points as well. Got a good point in the last game to move up to 18th. They have a better goal difference than Leicester, so they're above them. Wolves on 19 points. Couldn't move, but you know, I just feel like they will eventually start to move away from the bottom 3, honestly. Potentially, you know, let's see though. Let's see, because Wolves, even though they've played decent football all season, I have thought. I mean, their defense was terrible for times, but attacking wise, midfield wise, they played decent football. So I just feel like eventually they would, you know, rise up a bit more. But they're still right there, you know, one loss and a win from one of those two teams, then they're back down there. So, you know, they need to get some results here pretty soon to get some breathing room. West Ham has done so. They're up to 27 points now. We're a lot closer to the relegation zone at a lot of times during the season, but they're stabilizing decent now, even though they did lose on the weekend. Man United, 15th position, 29 points. Luckily for them, the teams in the relegation zone are not picking up many points right now, but they are looking like Europe is a far cry from what they can have this season just based on their form. Everton, miraculously, up to that 30-point mark now, after David Moyes has come and really righted the ship. I believe he has 13 of their 30 points in like 6 games out of their 25. So that's quite a remarkable turnaround. Crystal Palace on 30 points now. A bit up and down, but they have been trending more up lately. They did have a tough loss to another team that's trending up, and that's Everton. But Crystal Palace, I think, will be safe in the long run for sure. Tottenham on 30 points as well, even after their win, up to 12 now. Still have a ways to go, and I don't think that they will harbor much thought of getting all the way back to Europe this season either. They will need to get it done in the Europa League if they want to play in Europe next year, as far as I'm concerned. Brentford, 34 points, in 11th position after their win. They have picked up their away form lately, and it has really helped them to really climb that table. Now they are in 11th where they were at the start of the week, but they are a lot closer now to that top 10 and Brighton, since they're only 3 points behind them at 37 points. Then we have Aston Villa falling down a place from 8th down to 9th, seem to be stuck in that 36, 37, 38 range, just can't move to get to that 40-point mark. Fulham leapfrogged both them leapfrogged Aston Villa into 8th with their 3 points against Nottingham Forest on 39 points now. Newcastle in 7th now after being, all the way in the top 4 a couple of weeks ago. Now they are down to 7th and 41 points. Chelsea just hanging on to Europe at this point in 6th position. They are now still on 43 points. They got jumped over by Bournemouth in 43 in 5th, and City jumped over them as well, now up to 44 points in 4th position. Then we have Nottingham Forest in 3rd and 47 after their loss on the weekend. Arsenal now with a bit of breathing room from 3rd position, 6 points clear of them and 53 points. And Liverpool still the standard bearer all the way up to 60 points now, scoring 60 goals as well from 25 played. They have a 7-point lead with the ability to go 10 clear if they can beat Aston Villa at Villa Park on Wednesday. So yeah, big times ahead, big week ahead in the Premier League. We will be back with the Premier League content on Thursday night. As you can see in the fixtures coming up, Aston Villa, Liverpool Wednesday. Then the Premier League will be right back in action on Friday of this week with Leicester hosting Brentford. So we will do similar to what we did this week. I will have the content for you Thursday night for the preview show. So keep that in mind, all my EPL viewers and predicting folks. Thursday night will be the show. If you won't be available that night, you don't know, just drop your comments in the comments. Like Biggs G, like others who don't catch the show live, and I will definitely lock in and add you to the big board so that you can be seen and heard, and we'll get you in the standings as well. So Thursday preview, Sunday we'll be back for the review show after the big games on Sunday. Newcastle and Nottingham Forest, big game, and City and Liverpool, another big game on Sunday. So we'll have a lot to talk about Sunday night, and hopefully Arsenal are only 4 points behind after this week. That would be lovely. We host West Ham, so can't take it for granted, but yeah, we should be able to get the result there. So let's see. But yeah, football was not played on paper, so we have to wait and see how these fixtures pan out. But yeah, should be a fun week of football. Just before we go, for a fun thing, I will tell you, Aston Villa 3, Liverpool 2. It will be a barn burner of a game, people. Yeah, man, 3-2 Aston Villa is what I'm going with. Bless up, Cranky. What go on? I will watch the ending of your program after this because I was watching most of it, but I didn't want to start this too late. So I did start while you were still going, but I do want to catch the end of the program. So I will watch that back right now, actually, as my, end of night wind down programming. And remember, tomorrow, people, it's late, so I probably won't make the thumbnail right now, just being honest. But tomorrow, I will be doing a program tomorrow night. I try not to start it too late for those who need to get their rest, but I will be having a program tomorrow night that will cover the U17 qualifiers and not the follow, but just the qualifiers and what I saw, my analysis of everything, and also have a discussion about where have the players gone. We had a list of players that were due to play for the U20s, and for whatever reason, we heard a number of reasons why they weren't used, but they weren't used in the end. And my question is just, where are they? Who is keeping the conversation going with these players? Are we in dialogue with these players? Do we even care to try to use these players anymore? I don't know, but I would like to have that discussion, and hopefully in that discussion we can at least drive the conversation to get some answers, because really and truly on these platforms, if you're not trying to help the program by giving your takes and saying what you think can improve things, at the very least, let's hope that our conversations can drive the powers that be into the right directions, whether it's having conversations about the topics that we're having. They don't have to agree with everything I say, but at least it will be in their mental, it will be in their thoughts if enough people go to them and say, hey, did you hear what they were talking about on this program the other day? That can be helpful in itself. So anything that you can do to drive the conversation, it has to be helpful. regardless. So we're going to have the conversation tomorrow. Hopefully, all the people that are in tune with the Jamaican football follow it. The Rob Smiths of the world, you know, the football gurus, all of them, even the people that maybe I disagree with all the time. I want everybody to be around because I think that the conversation needs to be had where different sides of the spectrum are having the conversation. Because sometimes, even in my disagreements with people, I will at least get a different perspective on things that will maybe make my ideas be able to formulate it in a way where they are more received by more people. I think that's very important. You know what I mean? Some others that I talk to on a regular basis about these things, they don't see the importance of that. But I will forever think that if I can at least get through to the people that would be adamantly against some ways that I think, that can only do the better for the football. Because there's no point, obviously we're not going to agree on everything. That's impossible. Then we just live in a utopian society and that doesn't exist. But I'm saying, yeah, it's hard sometimes, and I know Cranky struggles with it. You know, when people are saying things that he disagrees with, you know, it's tough in the moment to like not go off on some people. You know what I mean? But if you can have a measured approach and, you know, still engage with those people, you never know. Rome wasn't built in a day, and you know, maybe today is not the day when they come around and see your point of view, but they might over time. You never know. So I will continue to try, people. I think I have the temperament for it, and I think I'm fair enough in my thoughts that people can't say that I'm trying to fight anything or fight anybody. I'm just giving a perspective that I think could be useful, and that's really and truly my aim here. So all the reggae boys, reggae girls, Jamaica enthusiasts and supporters, look out for some programming tomorrow night where we kind of, you know, get into all things U17 from what I've compiled, you know, secondhand accounts from people with the team, just following the players, following the team over time. How did we get here? How did we get to the point of not qualifying for this World Cup? And I think that some of the things that I will say should be eye-opening to some, and help to shed some light as to why we fell just short of making it over the line. So people, look out for that content tomorrow night. It should be fun, very opinionated. I'm sure, you know, that might be a show where I might need to open up the phone lines to hear some comments from others. So listen out for that segment as well. We're going to try to open it up. I don't really normally do that, but yeah, tomorrow night, that might be a good situation for that. So big up all the people in the building that tuned in. We really do appreciate it. I know most of the time this EPL content might not get as many views as the reggae boys, reggae girls content, and that's fine. I love the Gunners enough and I love the EPL enough to keep putting out the content because I do have a core audience that always show up. So big up to the Hot Chilies. I don't see CK tonight, but I'm sure he'll be back next week. Big up Duke. Big up Juras. Big up to DJ Gigs. Big up to Coach Edwards. Big up Red Skull, Hot Skull. Yeah, man. Float Management. Mass Sports World. Pristine. Sherman Scott ever there in the building as well, even though him not do the prediction, him always show up. Sean always a show up, you know. Yeah, man, all the people them were about and show the support and the love, we really greatly appreciate it, brother. Trust me, we really do. And we not stop people, so we don't have to worry about that. But anyway, big up to everybody that tuned in. Thanks again for the support. We're gonna get like a rest for tomorrow. Big up on yourself, people. Once again, I am Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. Keep getting 3 points, Teta.